mean,
I think
speaking
it
of
was
its
always
size, this is big for a comedy club.
Yeah,
I mean,
as far as like tiers of size, we're in mid-high tier of size of comedy clubs.
250 plus people.
Yeah,
can,
275 is our seating
275.
capacity. Yeah,
That's a lot.
That's a
275
lot.
people. That's a lot of people to bomb in front of.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, Lance. Yes, it is.
You're listening to Everybody Loves Naples, an unfiltered and educational podcast about living in Southwest Florida. We're your hosts. My name is Natalie Perez-Benitoa.
My name is Lance Martinicchio. From the best restaurants and things to do to our local real estate market, we're sitting down with local business owners and community leaders to provide a deeper understanding of what makes Naples, Naples.
Now let's get the show on the road. Okay, got the thumbs up from the producer. We are rolling, everybody. Welcome back to Everybody Loves Naples. It has been a minute.
Couple minutes, Natalie.
At least.
We're back, though.
We're back. And today we are joined with Dennis Waters, general manager, comedian himself of Off the Hook Comedy Club in Naples, Florida. Locally known, nationally known. It's a big deal. For those of you listening and not watching, we're on the stage with lights, mic stands, stools. I'm like,
this is basically like a stand-up act for us.
Yeah.
So this is kind of different for us because we're at a studio now. And we're actually on location in this iconic spot in Naples.
And we've got a live audience.
Yeah.
Don't all applaud at once. No, we're on stage here with Dennis. Going to chat a little bit about the club, about your background, a little bit about you. We're so excited to have you. Thanks for having us here on stage.
Thank you very much for coming.
Pretty badass.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. What would you like to know?
Well, first, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Dennis? How you got to Naples, number one.
Perfect.
And then how you got into the comedy business.
Sounds good. I found my way to Naples when I started school at Fort Myers and FGCU. Slowly migrated south as the income started to increase. Finally made enough that I could find a home here. But as far as the location goes, I've been in this area now for about 12 years. I have worked from Applebee's to the Ritz-Carlton. Found the owner, Captain Brian, through a friend of a friend. Had short chat. Had opportunity to come into this building, and then that was about now 4 years ago, and been running it ever since.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think if anyone's actually been to a show here, they've probably seen you, and you also
Hopefully.
and you actually also do opening, right, for some of the comedians that play here.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough. I started comedy about 2 years ago, and fortunate enough that I get to open pretty regularly. After the first year of doing it, now the majority of people coming in kind of know that I do that, and we normally run two-man shows. In comedy, you have three performers. You have an opener, a feature, and then a headliner. Here in Naples, because we run a little bit quicker style shows for the demo here, we typically run a two-man show. But if they need a third man, it's normally me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
I heard you say Applebee's, Ritz-Carlton, now Off the Hook. I figured I'd take this opportunity to read your LinkedIn bio.
Oh, wonderful.
All right. A wide range of knowledge and ability with adaptive, quick learning know-how. I can't read still. I'm working on that.
Let's try that again. Start from the top.
A wide range of knowledge and ability with the adaptive, quick learning know-how to survive and thrive in any work environment. I mean, comedy, you kind of have to be on your toes, right? I'm emotionally intelligent and I have things in perspective. I always choose optimism over cynicism and pessimism. And I am able to be the bigger person in every situation. All of these attributes help resist conflict and friction, allowing me to be what I am a part of, to move fast and excel forward.
Hired is what it sounds like.
Hired. I think
sounds
Off the
pretty
Hook
phenomenal.
I agree. I mean,
You're very adaptable, Dennis.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And they're lucky to have you.
It's the follow-through that's the problem.
The bigger person, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So what does that look like on a day-to-day managing a comedy club in Naples, Florida?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. This is the thing, is that art, entertainment in general, always moving, always different. Every single show is completely different. And that's kind of the coolest thing for my interest. Most people get bored easy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rudimentary things you're doing every day, same thing. Here it's never like that. So every single show, even if it's the same exact comedian, the audience is different, the vibes are different, the feel is different. And so it's really just continuing to adapt on a daily basis. It's a real puzzle. Every night is a game of Jenga.
I mean, you probably have to problem solve a lot. I would
It's
imagine.
constant. It's
Things
constant.
are always going to go wrong.
And everything is important in that moment. And if you mess it up, then it is
It's your fault.
catastrophic.
It's absolutely your fault. as
Correct,
well. Everyone wants to
correct.
point the finger.
I'm sure
Yeah.
if you've been to our club, you've seen at least one show maybe where a mic's not working in the middle of a performance. Someone drops it as a performer or uses it as a prop and breaks it, and then all hell breaks loose for a couple of minutes while we wait and figure it out. And that part of it always keeps me intrigued. I love that part.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
You wait for it. You wait for it.
Yeah, being the superhero, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And then hopefully the comic on stage is normally really kind, points it out. Everyone give it up for this guy for solving it really quickly, and those things make me sleep at night, so it helps.
I'm trying to remember what was in this spot back in the day, because when I was growing up, I don't remember this club being here. And then when I came back, I was like, oh yeah, Off the Hook's all the rage.
So,
And
yeah.
then-
Do you know what it was?
So I do. I kind of forget, but I know it was a club.
Yeah.
But I mean, for
Was
this,
it?
it was. Yeah.
Was it two? I think I was told previously that it was two separate.
Then they turned it to a restaurant. It was an Italian restaurant. I
Was
think
it
before
always
Off
this
the Hook.
big, or was it two separate things?
I think it was.
I mean,
I think
speaking
it
of
was
its
always this
size,
big.
this is big for a comedy club.
Yeah,
I mean,
as far as like tiers of size, we're in mid-high tier of size of comedy clubs.
yeah, 250 plus people.
Yeah,
can,
275 is our seating
275.
capacity. Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
275
lot.
people. That's a lot of people to bomb in front of.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, Lance. Yes, it is.
It's just
You have
like
experience with
pins and needles. You're just
Yes,
like
it
anyone,
is.
anyone, yeah.
It's also a lot whenever it's going good too.
So for
Yeah.
most people that don't know Off the Hook, actually, when did the club start?
So actually, thanks for asking, because next year will be our 20-year anniversary.
Wow,
So
20
we're gonna
years.
all within Collier County.
Okay, so not at this location though. The whole 20
Correct.
years.
We've been here
Okay.
for about 10.
Nice.
And started down at Marco Island. Brian's been in business. Captain Brian, in case you don't know, I'm talking about the owner of the club, has been in business for next year will be 20 years, which is a huge
That's
celebration.
huge milestone.
That's
20 years.
awesome.
Yeah, I remember when it was in Marco Island.
Yeah, sandwich shop.
Yeah, I saw Andrew Dice Clay there.
Isn't that crazy? Kevin Hart, Jamie Kennedy, some of the best in the world. Tom Green,
Tom Green.
Yeah,
Wow.
some of the craziest acts ever. One of the coolest things, give him a little bit of credit. So when the club started, obviously you don't have the notoriety, you know what I mean, to bring in those acts.
Sure.
So he had his networking ability from working already in the industry, and then as well as the location and beauty of what Naples is,
Yeah.
or Marco Island at the time. And so the way that he leveraged to be able to get those people to kind of buy in was more of a work on vacation type of style.
Yeah.
So they had this thing called the penthouse, and you'd come down here and be able to, work for an hour, but
Then go to the beach.
correct,
Yeah.
and be on the
Yeah.
water, be around. And so that one perk was like the big changer for everybody. And then he created this camaraderie with a couple of big names in the industry, and through that they gave him that loyalty of continuing to come back. And same way of any business, you start out with a couple of clients, and then those clients network to more clients and network to more clients. And lucky for this industry, it's done by a booking manager. So you impress one of those guys, and eventually 5 years later he's promoted into a bigger position,
Yeah.
and now the roster becomes larger,
And you guys
we
grew
are
with
here
it
today.
as well.
Correct, 100%. That's one thing about this industry that's very interesting is, and I constantly let our staff know that, is that you have to continue to see big picture. It's not exactly what it looks like right now, the act, the show, the anything. If there's a bad experience from any type of talent that comes, you're talking about their representation more than you're talking about just the individual. So if you, something goes wrong to the degree that they don't want to come back, and they let their manager know that guy might have 30 comics
Yep.
on his roster.
Yeah. Right.
And so that word gets around fast. And lucky for
Makes
us, it was the opposite. And so Corona happened. industry was devastated. Nowhere was open. You couldn't do stand-up of any kind. And Florida, Texas, and Arizona were the only popping spots. And
that we're allowed to do.
correct. So then we got
It's like the doors are open.
correct.
Come on in.
For all 10 days that we were shut down.
Yeah.
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 And so we had some bigger names at that time than we've ever had, and in a row of weeks. And the treatment of those people, whether we were able to get them back when arenas opened up and they got the proper size audience, it didn't matter because we impressed them so gracefully during that process that they blessed us with everybody else on their roster. So where
Yeah.
before we were making those phone calls, kind of stopped at that point, and now we're at the point of answering the phone, and that's where you want to be.
I feel like with any comedian too, when you go and perform, you also want a great audience. So in that
100%.
time during Corona, as you say, COVID, whatever, getting able to perform comedy, but also having a full audience who wants a night out, who wants a good laugh, who wasn't super phased as a community perspective by the pandemic as much as other pockets. I'm sure that fed comedians that like itch that scratch that itch,
Yeah, absolutely.
to keep going. And then, I mean, you guys have had success stories right here in your club, like Matt Rife, right?
Real cool story. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
He went viral, right, with one of his
Yeah, so
initial clips.
so basically, he came COVID year. We'll send you the video. We have a pretty cool video that kind of broadcasts this story in a larger picture. But at the time, we didn't know how monumental that moment was for us. But basically, what happened was he arrives on the first day. He had about a 75% sold out room, and did a show, took some video, went home, posted it. Next day we wake up, whole weekend is sold out. And so overnight those clips went viral, and the difference in what that was about to domino effect into his life was the beginning of how Matt Rife. And so he had been doing comedy for forever, and it wasn't necessarily us or the club, but that lucky right place, right time, right show, right audience, and all of those played out.
Not to interrupt, but I do remember actually scrolling and seeing that video, and I was like, I don't know this guy, but I saw Off the Hook in the background. I'm like,
Correct.
that's cool. That's right there in Naples.
100%.
I literally remember
Yeah.
seeing that and being like, I have no idea.
Yeah, it
who
was
this-
crazy, and the difference in the aspect of him as a person, because I like those small guy getting big opportunity things, and so at that time it was cool because I was kind of involved in that process of getting to see his face recognize the new sense of growth and that fame. And so as the story goes, which I'll send you the video after this, but he goes on a podcast. This is the thing that's funny, is I had told people this story for like 9 months, that Off the Hook was the first place that he sold out, that he had such a love for us, but it was never broadcasted anywhere, and it was just little old me spewing out this nonsense,
screaming it to whoever.
Correct,
listened to
and they're like, yeah, okay, buddy, we Matt Rife, you're okay. And so we got lucky because Two Bears One Cave, which is Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer's podcast, very notable inside of comedy as well as just podcasting in general. Bert was out sick, and Matt filled in for him. And in that process, he was asked by Tom, do you know the moment that everything changed for you? And at that time, thankfully for me, finally on video, it's recorded. Yeah, and he gives us credit. And he was like, along the lines of that he was expecting a check that was very small, and we gave him a check that was appropriate for what he sold. And because of that, I got to literally watch it register in his
got
head.
confirmation.
It was great. Like literally, a now superhero in comedy looked down at something that I'm sure that now he would laugh at the size of some type of check that little, but the jump was so big that he looked down and literally get to see his face go like,
yeah, like I can do this as a like for real.
Yeah, I had to give him a minute. Yeah, it was
that's
cute.
awesome.
So I think, because he booked though a year later.
Dude, we got him that weekend.
And then after that viral moment, he obviously blew up. He's selling out arenas now. but he still was committed to come back and play in Naples. And
I get goosebumps thinking about it, to be honest with you, because it's so cool, dude. Like, true comics have an appreciation for, it's called being a road dog, and what that is just is continually working on your craft in clubs. And so obviously everybody wants that large audience, everybody wants the arena, they want the theater, but the truth is that the intimacy that you get in an atmosphere like this, whether it's inside of a cellar inside of New York City, or on the walk inside of LA, or us here blowing up in Naples.
Oh, yeah.
There's just something about that intimacy of those people. And so we've been lucky with him personally that even after the next year of that blow up, 100 different venues on his list, that he kept us as one of the only 2-3 comedy clubs that were on that list.
That's
and so,
awesome.
Yeah, it was something very monumental for us. And as you mentioned, that weekend that he was here, within the end of that weekend, he already sold out for the next year. It was like 3 days that he had already sold out. It was so soon that as a club, we were fearful that we thought people misread the date and thought that he was coming back again the following week. And we were like, these people do know it's a year from now, right? Like, yeah.
And they're committed.
Correct.
Well, obviously Off the Hook's had so much growth and opportunity in the past, 4 years or so, and 16 years before that. But you guys recently did what, $1 million renovation in the
just
place?
under that. Yeah, so everything you see, touch, sit on, look at, everything is brand new from scratch. Spina family spent a lot of time and effort kind of crafting into what they want this to end up looking like. And we've been blessed that the construction teams that we had here were able to accomplish it almost to a T. Like, this is, if you've been to our club prior to the renovation, you remember we had a bar over here, which if you're listening, you can't see, but in the dead center of our room practically. And so we completely dimmed it out, mocked both sides of the room so that they were symmetrical and identical to each other, and it's been able to create a nice atmosphere for comedy.
I think so too, because that way everybody, whoever's on stage, they're not favoring one side or the other, because it's
correct,
completely symmetrical. The kitchen and bars in the back, so that you don't have the distraction of all
exactly
that. And speaking of the kitchen, I was looking at the menu.
Okay.
Like, this is did you look at it? I'm like, this is more than just, in my head, a comedy club is more or less bar food, right? Not here.
No.
This is like, I want to come to try the food.
What's
wanna see the
ironic is
comedy,
in this
but-
area, I don't think we could have survived if we didn't
It's
have
true.
that. He
Yeah, you're so
identified
right.
that was one thing that Brian also identified with just what this area is in competitiveness of cuisine and food is, you guys, you've been here long enough to know that, like, Naples we're so blessed with the opportunity of different varieties of very
Great
high
food.
quality
Yes.
food, and the competitiveness here is so competitive.
Yeah.
And one thing with our club that we wanted to make sure of was that we were giving these people not just a opportunity to come and see a live act, but that they weren't weighing the difference of, would we rather go to Fifth Avenue and have a wonderful meal tonight, or would we rather have bar food at a comedy club and get to see something awesome? Being able to offer them both. Now we just open it
That's
up to
amazing.
both of those. Both
They
of
do
those
a great
Yeah.
things.
job with the food, and Brian, I do know, is a foodie, so I'm
He's
not
a very
surprised.
big foodie.
That
And then
guy
Chef
loves his
Gearson
food.
that we have inside the back has been with Brian since the beginning. Worked his way up from literally a dishwasher all the way up now to our executive chef.
Yeah.
And we're a from-scratch kitchen. We offer anything from nachos to filet mignon and lobster tails.
crazy.
It's
so
definitely not
crazy.
a traditional comedy club, which also falls into the perks for comics. One of the things that I will say that there is no fighting over is that they run to us for the food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
Yeah,
A comedian wants free food.
I know,
Yeah.
shocking, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm coming into the club to watch a comic, how's my experience start to finish? Obviously, I can't go up to a bar and order. So
Correct.
just for those listening who haven't been here yet, what can they expect when they come in?
So hopefully it'll start outside. So one of the
Wait in line, bitch.
no, not that. I just mean captivating kind of the senses. You want to touch all the senses, and one of those is making sure that when you're pulling in, you know that this is something that stands out inside of the plaza that we're in. So you should see lights. You should see
A 20-foot
smells.
skeleton.
Correct. Well, okay. For Halloween, we do go hard for the holidays.
Yeah, I love it though.
It is
The
cute.
Christmas stuff,
It's cute.
So cute.
I have to be honest with you. I was on Pine Ridge yesterday, and as much of a pain in the ass that it is to set this stuff up and break it down every year, I drove by PDQ, and PDQ has decorations and a blow up entry that you walk through. It's like a haunted entry, and I was like, dude, if I got outdone by PDQ and the decorations of the business, I would be I would be devastated.
Yeah,
so
you're like, challenge
it was
accepted.
it was
I'm
worth
going in.
it.
Yeah.
But as far as what you can expect whenever you come here, basically outside, you'll start hearing, your senses will start opening up that this is going to be a fun night for you. We offer free popcorn for everybody as they enter into the club, and you can smell it at your car. So you'll get out of your car, smell the popcorn, hear some music outside, see the lights, kind of open up that emotional, attachment to the commitment to that night. Come inside, sit down, server will approach the table, take your order at that point in time. We try to encourage you to give all of that at one moment for the aspect of
pretty on top of things.
We try to be, and so that's the one thing that here it's very important is just ownership of the table. Like a lot of places that you go, especially in Naples with the demo that's here, I mean, these people have they know what they want, and they know when they want it and how they want it.
Yep.
Saying they're high maintenance,
which is why I'm saying that they are
They know what they want.
Yeah.
They are Naples.
They are Naples.
And so I recommend always to our staff just to continue the encouragement of getting everything done up front, because we know how to pace out the meal. And what we don't want is for you to come in, you sit down, you chat for an hour with your people, just kind of getting some drinks or a couple, and then the show's about to start. And now you're like, oh, let's order some food. Well, now we have a whole showroom, and the difference in the wait time of what you were expecting is drastically different. And so I would say that as a prerequisite or sense of encouragement for those of you who've never come here before, come inside and let us take care of you. And that's all you really got to do. You just got to make your way in, sit down, get ready to laugh, and ease back in the seat, and we'll take it from there.
And then no cell phones, right? If I'm correct. And I feel like most comedy now,
No cell phones.
you can't
Like,
take
no
pictures.
pictures.
They don't
No pictures, no video. No cell phones would be crazy.
Yeah,
but we collect them all at the door.
Yeah.
We require everyone's password.
I feel like some comedians have gone that route because of all the people.
100%.
And you just
rightfully so. To be
whole
completely
issue.
honest with you, dude, comedy is so funny because it is the last platform for free speech. And it is something
unless you're
that
offended, then it's not.
correct, and then leave
And
quietly.
that's why we're podcasting. We also feel like we can do free speech.
She dropped the first fuck, so now at least I can loosen up. Yeah. You had one
I
already.
didn't even hear it.
Yeah. She had one.
It's part of
And
the.
so good. It's okay. I'm loosey goosey too. So, but it is funny because context matters.
Yeah.
And if you do not hear the beginning, the middle, and the end to a joke, it can be misconstrued and, shown in its worst light. And that's what the necessity is. It doesn't even have to, if everybody had the consciousness of trying to promote positive content whenever they're at a show, then record away. Record whatever you'd like. The only downfall to that is you're ruining it for the next show of the people that may see those jokes online. Comedy normally about a year of material that you keep for that year, and so you don't want to ruin that for other people. But it's more for the former, not the latter. It's like what you said. It's a shame, to be honest with you. So you have to take those steps in order to protect the business and protect the client.
So I guess where do you get your material from?
Life, brother.
Just daily life occurrences.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's so funny
it's
because
the best.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, you constantly want to be writing. You constantly have to work it out. I'm in a little bit different of a bracket because, truthfully, as the host, your job is, I mean, you want to be funny, but that's not your job. Like, your job is to set the tone for the show.
Sure.
And so it's kind of getting out of the stuff of the way, and to be honest with you, it's the hardest position to do ever
absolutely.
anyway, because people are eating, there's noises taking place, there's still seating, there's orders, and that's what your job is as the support. And that doesn't just rely on a host, that also relies on a feature as well. That kind of trickles down. I mean, we pride ourselves in the flip that we do in the room and the timeliness of that for two show nights, but nonetheless, when you're entering into the club on the second show, we start the show at the time of the last butt hitting a seat. So as soon as that happens, I mean, you're talking about noise going on in the audience for a half an hour before it starts to quiet down and people get the sense that, okay, let's commit to it. And that's the whole entirety act of the first person and the second person.
Yeah. So you can basically say whatever you want because they're not listening anyway.
Correct. And if you get the positive response, you go, wow, that really was a good one, because this lady took a bite of her steak.
Yeah. But that's great. I don't know if you're trying to pursue comedy as a main career, but I would think that's the best way to workshop material.
100% is.
Because lower
People are
stakes.
half paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, it's lower stakes in a sense, but on the other hand, you are the manager and you want to make sure the experience is right for everybody. So you're wearing all these hats. I would think we got a timer. Oh, you're good. We got an alarm.
Get in the frame real quick so I can see you ruined it. We thought it was going to be us, but come the fuck on.
I do want to take this time to give some plugs to our producer. Jay Created This is producing. No, yes, he's producing our show. We also have Skin by Maria. She's amazing.
Yes.
She's opening a location in Naples. She does
hair laser removal.
Laser hair removal, all kinds of skin.
Hair laser removal would be crazy.
Yeah, micro derm, all the fun stuff for facials and skincare. So check her out. Head on over to Skin by Maria, her Instagram page. She's opening soon. Make sure to mention Everybody Loves Naples, and she might hook you up with a little something.
Now, let me ask you this: does she do nails?
Oh, we're just gonna slide right in. She doesn't.
If you are not watching this podcast and you are listening, she has two different color nails on. We have a very vibrant red on the fingertips and a fading pink on the toes.
It looks like white.
I think it might be opaque. What is
My
that?
toes are blue because I'm freezing.
That's blue. Oh, your toes are blue.
are
Your
blue,
nails.
yeah.
That's what we're asking.
Is that a thing to wear different colors?
Okay.
I don't think.
Hold on. I want both of you right now to message your significant others and ask them if they always get the same. Because it's a thing to get your nails and your toes to coordinate, sure. But if you get your toes done a different day than your nails and you're in a different mood, I don't know.
I
Talk about
don't
freedom
either.
of speech, freedom of expression. I can't even paint my nails the color I want. No, I do often do different colors.
We love it.
And you sometimes even have different colors on each nail.
See, I like that though.
I've seen
I like
that.
that. Yeah.
I can't win, but yeah, no. Maria doesn't do nails, but she does skincare and her laser hair removal.
Maria, I'll be seeing you for the unibrow.
Hey, there it is.
Coming to you soon.
So yeah, do you want to pursue comedy as a career, or is that on the radar at all?
This is the thing, man. I have such a love and passion for this place and for Naples and for Off the Hook. And so I just would like to continue to grow and to be able to prosper comedy here. And if that opens up opportunities in the future for somewhere else, then so be it. But I think that as far as like the passion goes, I've finally found something of a career where I don't see anywhere past this.
No.
I see me being able to do a management style and a mixed hat wear of something that continues to keep me interested, and that pursuit of comedy is a very long one.
It's a long one.
You're making great connections though. With
it's phenomenal, dude. This has been the
that comes
biggest
down
blessing
here.
I've ever had in my life. I try to treat it like
wasn't
that.
eating me.
Second best blessing in my life. Although Nat is slowly taking over, so you'll move down to third.
Yeah.
But
well, I can tell because even the past a few days. I haven't known you very long, and we've only chatted for a short period of time. But I can tell you are the glue to this place.
I love it, dude. Like I literally bleed it. Like I absolutely love it.
We take a percentage of any
Well, I feel like
pay increase.
Yeah. So there will be none. But what I can say is hopefully a pat on the back.
Yeah. Well, I guess how you've described your role, there's so many comedians, right?
Mhm.
There's less people like you who can manage a club, come up with ideas, decorate the front, hold the space, be on stage to perform. I mean, you're just, I don't know.
He does it all.
It would take a few people to replace me. I'll
That's
say
what
that.
I'm
But as
saying.
far as the operational side, it's a collaborative team effort,
Yeah.
and I hold no more sway on that than anybody else in the management team. But I would say that as far as like operationally, whenever we're running the show and everything, if you to replace it would take a couple. You got to be a multi-hat wearer, and
Right.
that is a diamond in the rough for sure.
So I got
I'll
a
take
question
pride
for
in
you
that.
too. Obviously, with everything this club has accomplished and you have done, what do you see going forward, with the future of comedy and this club? Like, how do you see this and the comedians and the acts and things like that?
So that's kind of the
'Cause
magic
it does
question.
evolve every year.
No, of course, and that's kind of the magic question. Like, I don't think that Brian has any interest in replicate. We are an outlier of what we have here and what
Yes.
Naples offers as
Yes.
a whole, that it would be not a replication of the business. It would be starting taking what we did well here, but then adapting in a new place of what they would offer us, but it would change everything about the business that it wouldn't really be off the hook anymore. And for instance, like you said, like traditional, like the bar food, like we couldn't move to a blue collar town in Florida and replicate what we have here at Off the Hook. Talent or not is irrelevant to, you got to survive in business.
Right.
And lucky for us, the people of Naples have the ability to continue to give us that loyalty, and with that we've been able to prosper. So I don't really know the answer to that question, to be honest with you, Lance. Like that's what we're trying to figure out now, and I think that we're doing a great job. We're making more money every year, and we're finding more networking opportunities and things. So really the difference of what we've added is the quality and the level of tier of comedy that we're offering. And so before, I was a comedy club patron for 5 years before ever being involved with this business, and they had amazing acts, but it would be 3 people a year that were like head turners of comics. And after COVID and Corona and what that did for us, now we're up to bi-weekly, every other week it's pretty much a head turner of a comic. And before, our off nights would be filled in with like a jazz night or an open mic or things like that, and now it's strictly comedy. So I think it's just conquering that. It's trying to continue to raise that bar of what we offer and the quality of the person that's on the stage.
Are we gonna bring that back, open mic night? I think Lance was gonna.
We're
maybe
trying,
hop on stage.
but the thing is at the end of the day, we're a
you're
business,
booked. Yeah, and
and as long as we're running comedy shows, it would be different because this is the thing. You
put
want to
karaoke up here, and
we can we've done that before, Carlos Mencia. And so it's you want to support the trade. And you want to offer that to local comics. You want that sense of camaraderie inside of the building up of youthful comics and giving them that opportunity. It's something that you take a lot of pride in as a club. And to be honest with you, in management and ownership, that it's something that right now that the space is lacking. So we just don't have the time to offer. And that's the unfortunate part, is it has nothing to do with that the talent doesn't exist. There's tons of amazing talent in Southwest Florida, specifically in this area. It's just we have opportunities for support on our shows, but not really a showcase show of an open mic, just because business is booming.
Yeah, and you're busy.
Who wouldn't want to come to Naples to perform?
That's
exactly.
just it.
Very few.
That's just it.
We
And I
would
feel
hope.
like you said earlier, this is an outlier. Naples doesn't have anything like this, and now everybody knows what this place is nationally.
Correct.
So they're coming in. They can stay across the street at the Ritz if they really want to, but any other place would do just fine. Do you find that like most of your audience is local? I don't know how much information
we
you
have
gather.
such a blessing in the loyalty that we have here. That is what has survived the business through tried and true.
Well, they have nothing
however,
else to do.
You would think, but you know what's crazy is how many people that we get that it's their first time that have lived here for 20 years, and we're like, what do you mean you don't know that we exist? Like we do very well in marketing and trying to conquer this area, social media based and ad based, and it is remarkable that how many people just don't know that we exist. And so with that, the counter, we've been very blessed to the people that do. They believe in us. They get a good night out. They come back. I mean, I can name probably 25, 30 people that I will see more than one time a week.
Really?
Wow. More than one time. I have when we just Milton for the hurricane, I had people inbox my inbox to ask. Message my inbox that just asked, hey, it's not even the show. I know that you guys are closed but is there any way that I can get that flatbread that we can just do it to go? I swear to God.
Did you do it?
And we did it. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
And then we had one of the
applause.
Janine. I'll give you a shout out.
Thanks, Janine.
But then she got surgery on her knee, and the exact same thing. She was like, I can't come to a show because of my knee, but please, it would make me feel so good if I could just get that flatbread that we normally get up there. And
so now Off the Hook offers delivery service of food.
Not delivery. It was pickup, but we did
I will be
allow
taking
her
a
to be able to-
flatbread to go. Yeah.
Handmade, even the crust.
Well, we're gonna be doing some giveaways here. For tickets. If you want to, obviously have any upcoming acts, what you got going on for the next month, I guess into October and through November. What's some of your bigger acts coming up, I guess?
Yeah, so
or even any act, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we got.
When are you going to be on stage, Dennis?
I will be on stage tonight.
Tonight. Okay.
Yep, Sunday.
Get
Troy
this turned over
Bond.
quick.
And as far as like big acts that we have coming, we have Andrew Dice Clay coming, like you mentioned, Kevin Nealon, Brian Callen, cool one, Patrick Warburton. Do you know who that is?
Is that Seinfeld?
Yes,
Putty?
Seinfeld. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Most notable voice ever. I get to
Oh
meet
my
him.
gosh,
That's like one I'm
sweet.
super excited for. January, a little bit farther out though. Tom Arnold.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so a lot, and these are all first timers for me. They some of them have been to the club in the past, but I haven't had the blessing to be able to meet those yet. So
That's so
those are some of
exciting.
the ones that I'm the most excited for.
Wait, quick question. So
Let's hear
when these comedians come in, what do they think about Naples? What is some of the impressions that they have of this town?
Take it easy, guys. This is they have a different opinion whenever they leave, but coming
Okay,
in is very much so. It is an older demographic.
Right.
It is a Republican demographic,
Yep.
and they are
Sleepy
It's not a very
airport.
diverse
they
crowd.
are a early audience, and they are smilers before laughers.
Ooh. Mm.
It takes a lot of effort, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the age is there, the laugh.
It's faster. It's everything's
well, the
delayed
breath,
with
you know
the
what I
age.
mean?
Yeah,
You only got
sure.
so it's a ha,
Right.
not a ha 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 ha.
I mean, I think it's kind of funny. Ones I've seen here, they all incorporate Naples into their act.
Oh, 100%,
Yeah,
dude.
that's
You can
awesome.
Fifth
Yeah.
Avenue, dude. Like, and the attire is normally the first
The
thing.
tough street gangs of the gated
Oh yeah.
communities.
Oh for sure.
One of the funny ones.
RSW Airport just ripping.
Troy was
jokes on-
talking about Mercado, and he was like, "It's so crazy that they have a no hat policy, a must wear a collar policy, but if you are wearing an Under Armour shirt with no collar, they will let you right in. Long sleeve Under Armour,
That's
acceptable
great. That's great.
attire
Yeah.
anywhere that you go in
Yeah.
Naples. Fifth Avenue, Tommy Bahama
Pretty
shirt,
much.
fit right in.
Yeah, like if
Very
you're
nice.
too dressed up, it's awkward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just come as you are, low key. I love it here. can't wait to
Ironically,
come to the
with
club.
the stage, you can see that we're about 3 feet probably higher than the seats.
You're looking
So I
down
will
shirts?
ask the gentlemen that do come to the show if you will like to sit, front 3 rows. If we could do at least 8-inch inseam on the shorts,
You don't need to
be
see
phenomenal. The
thighs.
goods are The
yeah,
goods are
okay.
for you and your wife.
8-inch
and your
inseam.
babysitter. But please do us a favor and keep those tucked away.
I hope they're not wearing anything shorter than 8 inches.
Yes, it's a thing.
Is that
It's
a
thing.
conservative statement? Is that a Naples?
I guess Dennis has a
Bro-
different view from
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
I'll tell you, I mean, you're up here with
Yes.
me. You can see right now. It's viewable.
Oh
it's
my
viewable.
gosh. I love this. I'm so happy we got to chat with you. Thanks so much for having us.
Of course,
Yeah, this
man.
was great.
I hope
Thank
this
you
is
very
the
much.
first
Okay.
time of many.
That was so white of us to do. Let's try that one more time.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
And since we're getting the blinking light,
Yeah. Our producer now here.
our blinking light
Yeah.
is blinking, and we have the next act coming up. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Hopefully, he's better.
Maybe Matt Rife will come on next.
Oh shit. Leave us with a joke, will you? Don't you hate that? You do comedy. Tell me a joke. I hate that shit. Yeah, but
Sorry to put you on the spot. It was Natalie.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it was Natalie. Thanks a lot.
you can blame me for everything.
What's got two hosts and hopefully more traction than I had before this interview?
Everybody loves
This
Naples.
podcast.
Ta-dum. All right, guys.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, watching. And actually, Dennis, that's what I wanted to say. How can they find you if they want to start following you? And
Oh,
off the
perfect.
hook?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. Shout out. Let's plug that in.
Yes,
I'm
please.
Dennis Has Jokes. Dennis Has Jokes on Instagram. I'm Dennis Waters on all other platforms. You can follow Off the Hooks Comedy Club page on everything, TikTok, any type of social media. Brian Spina, Captain Brian, follow his, as well as we just started a pretty cool behind the scenes attachment on Instagram. It's a little special group.
We'll
You
put
saw
your
that?
photo up. Yeah, you
saw
laying
it?
there like.
Yeah. So that is where you should join the most. That's our new. Right now we're starting out slow, but that's the behind the
That'll be good.
scenes thing that we're about to blow up and have some live feeds on there, and we got some pretty cool stuff coming. What I will tell you more than anything is be ready for next year. That 20-year anniversary is going to be amazing. We're going to
Awesome.
put same amount of effort that we did it into the construction, into offering you guys a spectacular experience here. So
Oh my
thank you
gosh.
guys for having me.
Great.
This was amazing. Appreciate you
you.
very much. I'm going to go get my nails in different colors,
Hell yeah.
shave my head,
Yeah.
and suit Naples. Thanks.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank